Yeah, drinking an Arizona iced tea in the morning. I grew up in New York. Y'all lucky I'm not eating a bacon, egg, and cheese. Alright. Am I ready? Who am I talking to? So, what's on my mind this morning? Don't worry, I'll tell you. Dating. It's dating. That's on my mind this morning. And I wrote some notes so that I wouldn't be all over the place with y'all. So dating in your 30s is an experience. Because truthfully, if I'm going to keep it 1,000% with y'all, I thought I'd be married by now. Not just because I was in a long-term relationship and I had an ex, but I think as a kid, I thought I'd be married by now. And I was a girl who was in relationships a lot in high school. I was in a couple relationships in my early 20s before my long 6-year relationship and 2-year engagement. So I guess I didn't think I'd be having this hard of a time being single. I didn't think dating would be so difficult, but here we are, struggling. I don't know, I've gone on a couple of dates with a couple of people, and I actually dated someone for like 5 or 6 weeks maybe, this past summer, or maybe, yeah, 5 weeks, maybe 6, and he ghosted me. And maybe if you're interested, maybe I'll talk about that a little later, another day. But I realized a lot of the dating advice that women get is really men-centered. It's about us trying to understand and decode men and trying to get chosen. And I don't want to date like that anymore because it's unhealthy for me. Especially because it's such a departure for how I live my life in every other regard. I try to be really true to myself and what I want and what kind of person I want to be in whatever environment I show up. But suddenly when I talk to men or I'm talking about dating, it changes. And I don't like that. And so I'm starting to try and think about what are my philosophies in life? What are the things that I think about in my life, and how can I make sure that that's consistent in dating? For example, I like believing people. I like my behavior when I believe someone. I don't like the way I behave, the way that I act when I feel like I can't trust somebody, when I feel like I can't believe them, and I'm running circles or doing all this mental gymnastics to try and figure it out. I don't like how I behave. I don't think anyone does, right? When you're distrustful. And so, if believing people is the kind of person, if I want to be the kind of person that believes people, what does this mean when I'm dating? It means that I have to trust myself when I didn't see the signs, if it should end. Like when I got ghosted by this man, I can't be like, well, how did I see it for the last 5 weeks? Because that's not what he showed me. I'm 32 years old. I have a lot of experience with people, not just men in a romantic way, because I really don't. But like, I believe people, and I have experience with people. If I didn't see it, it's because that's not what he showed me. And then when I saw something different, I believe that. So what does it mean when I'm like, I believe people? It means that I'm listening and I'm going to try and work with you to make you successful. All right? So if I'm dating someone, I would like you to be successful. I would love the next date that I go on to be the last first date I ever have. And I'm trying to make sure that that doesn't mean that I'm throwing too much. Ah, my camera's about to die. I'm terrible at this shit. I'm back. So as I was saying, would I like my next date to be my last first date ever? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is that going to happen? No. Is it going to make me have unrealistic expectations on a person that's not fair to them or me? Absolutely. So I'm trying to think about it as like, I need to be okay being treated like a stranger by a man, and I need to be okay treating a man like a stranger. And so I think that that's gonna allow me to be more in the moment, as opposed to thinking like, what could this be, and projecting, you know, a future where we only need to be thinking about the present. I think also when you're thinking about the fact that like, okay, I'm gonna be dating a stranger, and I say this because there isn't anyone from my past that's gonna come up and like show back up in my life. I don't think so. But like, when you know that you're gonna date a stranger, you're gonna be open to a little bit more understanding that things are gonna be awkward, that things are gonna be a little bit strange, that this person doesn't know you. And so I think for me, that's going to result in the ability to give somebody some grace. And myself some grace, right? But like, what does it mean for me to behave like someone is a stranger? I think it means, well, one thing I think it means is that I'm gonna need to communicate clearly. And for that to happen, I need to know what I want. But at least in that moment, right? I need to know what I want. I need to be able to say that effectively and communicate that with someone. So I'm trying not to ghost. If I talk to someone and I'm not interested, I want to be able to verbalize to them, hey, I don't see this working out. It was great meeting you. You know, best of luck or whatever. Is this frightening? A little bit. Because men like to kill women. Yikes. But also, like, don't I deserve to be able to communicate to at least to myself? And if I want to have if at the very least I would like a man to not ghost me, then I'm going to try him and not ghost people. And then hopefully that's the energy that gets thrown my way back, right? And even if I don't get it thrown my way back, because I've still been ghosted several times, I just don't want to ghost people. I'm just not going to. I don't expect my friends to be mind readers, but now I'm expecting a random man that I met possibly on the internet to understand me. And maybe they don't need it, but sometimes I think I need it. I think I need to be able to say like, oh no, I let that go, and then not linger on those thoughts, you know? Because here's the thing about why I don't ghost. All right, dating is crappy. Dating is not fun. It's not a great experience. I don't know about anybody else, but I am a cis het woman, and dating cis men is not fun. But just because it's a shitty experience, does that mean that I have to be shitty? I don't think so. And I think that that's one of the issues that I have with dating advice that you get on TikTok. And let me know, comment down below if you want to hear some of the like 5 dating advice that I hear routinely on TikTok and my feelings about them. But a lot of the dating advice that you get on the internet is really male-centered. It's still kind of like, well, this is what it's like, so this is how you have to behave. I kind of want to figure out how I want to behave and then do that. Because I've done it the other way, right? I've tried the dating approach where you understand the patriarchy and you try to play by its rules and yada yada yada. Number one, women are never designed to win games in the patriarchy. We're just not. So that was fruitless. But like, I think I said this earlier, I just don't. I have standards in my life that I follow, that I meet, that my friends meet, even random people on the internet that like I've developed community with on like Instagram or Twitter or what have you. They're all right too. But when it comes to men that I'm thinking about having a romantic, because remember, we're talking about a first date from a person that I'm on the internet. I don't know nothing about this man. Why am I always changing my standards, my behavior for men? I've done a great job at trying to be the same person in every room that I'm in. Does that change? Yes. I have nuance, I understand context, and I can shift and adapt depending on who I'm around. But no matter where you meet me, you're gonna get me. Unless you're a man that I'm trying to date, and then I feel so awkward, or I'm second guessing myself. I'll often get my friends who will ask me, well, what's your type? What kind of man do you like? What kind of man would you want? And I always have had a really hard time answering that question. And it's getting harder as I'm trying online dating and trying to find other ways that like don't involve in-person meeting people because we're in a pandemic. Oh, in case anyone needed another reminder,
we're in a pandemic, a global one at that.
I have a hard time answering the question, well, what do you want in a relationship? Or like in terms of a partner, what do you look for in a man? Interjecting just to say, I might not know too much about what I want, but can he be tall? Please, Lord. So people will ask me what I want, and I don't think I know how to answer that because I've been trying to focus on what I want, what kind of relationship I want. And I got to this idea because I have never told you what kind of friends I wanted. My friends are all over the spectrum. My friends are all genders. My friends have all kinds of professions. My friends have all kinds of hobbies. My friends are all kinds of ages and heights and body types and shapes. And I love my friends. I have never been like, I want this kind of friend. But I do know the kinds of things I want to do with friends. And I think with a partner, thinking about romantically, I'm trying to remember that like my life as a solitary single person is quite wonderful. And this life that I've built for myself is the blueprint for now of like what I would want in a partner. Right? Because they would have to fit into my life as it is now. I'm 32. I feel fairly established in certain areas of my life. And so I cannot tell you what kind of man that I want, but I hope I find the kind of man, or not I hope, I will find the kind of man that wants to dance with me in my living room. And I say that because I dance by myself in my living room often. And that's important to me. And if I have a partner, I would like that to be important to us. Right? I buy myself flowers just because. I will continue buying myself flowers, but if anyone is ever confused as to how to treat me, the best way to understand that is to watch me treat myself. And I don't know if I want, I want to say that I don't want much, but I think I do want a lot, right? Love should be much. Love should be a lot. And if I give it to myself in abundance, as often as I can, why do I want to pretend like I don't need a man to give me the same? Those are my needs. I don't think they make me needy. I need someone who wants to dance with me in my living room. Because I need dancing in my living room. I need dancing. I need flowers. And the thing is, I've managed to do those things for myself. So the idea that another person can't, I don't think I'm extraordinary sometimes. I don't think I'm superhuman. I'm a person. And through the most ridiculous of circumstances, I have managed to love myself and find ways to love myself really, really well. And I'm only human. I'm not asking for something out of the ordinary. I'm not asking for something strange or complicated or hard. I think I just want someone to follow my lead, right? And then I'll follow their lead and figure out how to love them. And so, yeah, like my life already exists. My life exists. Love exists in my life. And that makes dating seem simple or simpler. I just don't know where to find people. That's really hard. Like, I be hearing people talk about their rotations and I'm like, how? Where? Because currently I think we're in preseason. Cuffing season is coming soon. And I think I'm being benched. I'm benching myself. Anyway, those are my morning thoughts that spilled into afternoon thoughts. If you're single and you're dating, I'd love to know what you're trying to keep in mind as you date. Thank you for listening.